What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you an NFL discussion video on what to expect from Michael Penix in his first career start versus the New York Giants this weekend. But before we get into that, guys, and Michael Penix, let's talk about Kirk Cousins. Me being a longtime Falcons fan, me doing videos on Kirk Cousins before he signed with us, all the way until just recently, a couple weeks ago. I want to show my respect to Kirk Cousins. As a Falcons fan who was begging for Kirk to come. I didn't love the deal we got him on with the 4 year, $100 million. I knew he wouldn't reach the 4 years of that contract, but I definitely was hoping and wishing and begging for a veteran quarterback, and I wanted Kirk Cousins badly. So, I want to give Kirk his flowers and show some appreciation because things change so quick, but prior to Kirk struggling, Kirk had us, or I'll say at least for me as a Falcons fan, from my perspective, Kirk had us, Kirk had me feeling excited about our season early on. The loss to the Steelers, first game back, didn't play preseason, wasn't too concerned. Second game was the Chiefs, I believe, played well, lost that one too, but the Eagles win, and the wins after that. Kirk had me feeling like we were at least dark horse contenders, and I was excited to have Kirk as our quarterback. Now, it seemed like the rigors of the season kind of got to him a little bit, physically, mentally, getting hit, getting banged up throughout the season. It definitely takes a toll, especially on older quarterbacks. And Kirk coming off the Achilles, he's not mobile. He's getting smacked, getting hit by these guys. Our O line played fairly well, but he's just not being able to move. When the pocket collapse, Kirk's his lateral movement is gone. He hesitates and steps up, and then he tried to trust his arm too much, and he just gets picked off and just had bad moments. So I want to appreciate Kirk. I know us fans have turned on him, rightfully so, because he's not playing well. It's all about how you play on the field. But I want to appreciate Kirk for what he did for us prior to him playing bad, because I felt very good about how he was leading us until things changed for the worse. I do think Kirk is gone some way, somehow. Trade to the Titans, maybe that's a team I will look for. I don't think the Titans will get a rookie quarterback in this year's draft, at least not in the first round, because just how everything's going to pan out. Shador and Cam going to go to probably the Raiders and the Giants respectively. So I just don't think they're going to get anyone in their first round. Maybe Jalen Milroe, early second, late first, or somewhere in the first maybe. They might trade back up for him, but he shouldn't start from day one. So I think Kirk Cousins to the Titans could be a realistic thing. We'll talk about that more in another video. But let's get into Michael Penix, guys, and how I feel about Michael, how I think he'll perform his first game, versus the Giants. And I do have two guys. I have two guys that I believe will thrive under Michael Penix's lead as a quarterback for the Falcons. I'm getting into that a little bit later as well. But I have some notes written down on Michael Penix before the draft, some strengths, some weaknesses, and things I think that will look good his first start, also will look bad. So first off, a rocket arm. That's something Kirk don't have anymore. We knew that some Kirk balls were ducks, some were flutter balls. Like, he's going to throw laser beams to these guys. Left-handed rocket arm. He's going to throw hard, throw fast. He has the functionality. He has the mobility to move, unlike Kirk Cousins. So we can use rollout play actions and stuff like that. Stuff we didn't use prior to having Michael Penix available, because Kirk's lack of mobility, which I said before. So we can roll out, play action, move around a little bit, move the pocket, move left, move right, whatever we want to do with Michael Penix, we can do that. Zach, what's his name? Zach, our OC. Zach Robinson now has the freedom to kind of open up the playbook a little bit more. So he is a better athlete than Kirk. He should be. He's close to 20 years younger, or 15 plus years younger than Kirk. So he should be, or maybe 10, but he should be a better athlete than Kirk Cousins, and he definitely is. Off platform passer, on rollouts, all that good stuff. High IQ passing. He does read the field pretty well for the most part. We'll get into the cons on that as well. The flip side of that point but he does read the field pretty well. And he's just a gunslinger, fearless gunslinger, and he will throw the ball. That's what I really want. Forget about tucking it and diving for the sack. He will throw that thing. And I love gunslingers. My favorite quarterback, my second favorite quarterback of all time is Brett Favre versus Michael Vick. I love Jordan. I love just gunslingers. I like Jameis, so I like guys who just, hey, I see it, throw it, and see what happens. So I like that. It's not the smartest, but I do enjoy that. Now on to some cons of Michael Penix. Even though he's mobile, he can roll out and stuff like that. He's not really a creator off of like bad plays. When stuff get volatile, when stuff get messy, he's not really a good creator. He can move, but he's not really a playmaker per se. So that's a little difference there. He's not a Caleb or a Pat or he can throw off platform. He can throw off his back foot and all that stuff, but he's not really make some shake, make something happen, extend the play, stuff like that. He's not really that type of guy. Because when that starts to happen, that's when the bad throws and the wild throws happen, the bad decisions happen. So he's mobile, but not a creator / playmaker, if that makes sense. Also, with that laser arm, with the gunslinger mentality, the flip side of that is can be too aggressive, especially hunting those big plays, deep shots. Darnell Mooney, Hodges, Ray McLeod, Drake London. Those deep shots will come, I think, more often than we've seen with Kirk Cousins, and I think he will be susceptible to some of those bad picks or bad ball placements or not seeing the field all the way before throwing the pass. So I think Penix will take a lot more deep shots, but that leaves a lot less room for error and a lot more room for being picked off as well, or just having the pass broken up. The safeties kind of hovering around the ball, especially those deep shots. So he's gonna have to be timely, or at least very accurate on those deep balls. And we've seen in the past that his deep balls look pretty good. The times we have seen him throw, he's looked pretty solid. So, but doing a full game sample size is better than just a couple 5-6 throws he's done so far in the league. So we will see how it affects him for a full game. But overall, I think we'll see more deep shots with Michael Penix, and I think as I said earlier, the two guys I think will flourish under Penix's lead will be Darnell Mooney, who was early on flourishing under Kirk Cousins when he was throwing deep more often and more accurate. And also, I think Ray McLeod as well, our slot / gadget guy. I think those two guys, fast, quick, deep threat options. If Michael Penix can get some of those quick slants or quick plays where they're in one-on-one coverage and throw laser beams at them, throw them in the right spot where they can catch and run, we could see McLeod and Mooney kind of have a reemergence, not really a breakout, because they had good stretches here and there with Kirk, but Mooney hasn't had a good stretch in a long time with Kirk Cousins, and same for McLeod. He's had more stretches recently, but Kirk's bad ball placement and stuff like that kind of limit his catch and run opportunities. So I think those two guys will kind of flourish under Michael Penix's lead as a starting quarterback now. Then you have another bad thing I think that we could see flare up with Penix is his sloppy footwork. Most college guys come out not pristine footwork. We'll have to see, like I said, the times we have seen him, 5-6 throws, it looked okay. But as I said, as more pressure comes for a full game sample size, we're going to have to really tell after this game. I'm happy Dexter Lawrence is out for the year for the Giants because he could cause major problems. But they still have guys around who could still get the sack. Brian Burns, Azeez Ojulari, stuff like that. So they can make plays, obviously. But, having one less big monstrous guy there will help out a lot. So I do expect to see him have a little bit of messy footwork here and there, especially at the top of his drop. The last couple steps, I think, could get a little sloppy, could get a little messy. So I think that could possibly be something to watch out for as well. Other than that, that's really the main thing You know, especially, but I did circle one last thing. It's in red, and that's the injury prone thing. You know, he's been injured 2018 and 2020, two major injuries. You know, that's something that always give you cause to pause, but he's been healthy fairly since. You know, I didn't love seeing him his last game or two. I forgot which one it was, but he got banged up versus somebody. He didn't look so sharp. You know, so we'll see how that translate over. I forgot what game it was though. He gave me some calls to pause. Was it Michigan? The Washington, Michigan, or Washington, something like that. Some Oregon, Washington, Oregon. He got hit a couple times, and he just kind of shelled up a little bit. It wasn't the same guy prior to being hit. So, you know, I don't know if at that time was it lingering issues already prior, and it got reactivated, or was it just he got kind of shell shocked, or kind of went into a shell after getting hit. So I forgot what it was then, but I did the video on it because I didn't really love Penix out the draft, but I did like him more than most people. I liked him more than McCarthy. I liked him more than Bo Nix. So obviously Caleb was better. Not McDaniels, Daniels, Jaden Daniels for the Commanders was definitely better in my eyes. But I thought he was really third, and I didn't really see it that being that close with McCarthy and Nix. So he's a far away third to me. But that doesn't mean he can't be good from off the bat because we see our first guy Williams isn't really playing too hot, but Jaden Daniels has. He's been playing well, and Penix, who was the more veteran out of all three of those guys, him and Nix, and we see Nix playing well also playing fairly well. We're playing so it has some struggles, but I think Penix could come out after sitting, unlike those guys. Him sitting for most of the year could definitely give him a pretty good head start on some of those guys as far as how things look, the speed of the game, stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see how everything pans out. But I'm excited. I am excited to see Michael Penix start now. I've been calling for it for a couple weeks now, especially 2 weeks ago, us versus the Chargers. I was done with Kirk then. So I'm happy that we won that Oakland game, not Oakland, the Vegas game. But I'm glad the coaches saw come on, dog, they made sure Kirk didn't even throw the ball to end the game. So that's something you can't have paying a quarterback $100 million. So I'm excited to see what Penix can definitely do. But we gotta take it one game at a time. I don't expect us to make the playoffs still because of just our losing streak. We had 4 or 5 games straight losing streak. We had the division wrapped up and we couldn't finish it off. So I do expect us to miss the playoffs, but I hope to see some good play from Penix from the last 3 games. We have the Giants, Commanders, and I forgot who we finished the year with. So, or Giants, somebody in the middle, then Commanders. But I am excited to see how we finish off. But I do think we'll miss the playoffs. I think the Bucks will win out. They have a pretty easy schedule to end it. So, but we'll see. Anything can happen. But hopefully that we can just have a good end to the year and have a good sign going forward that Penix is playing well and he will play well in 2025 as our starting quarterback. But that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.